Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1966's The Secret Cinema from one of my favorite directors, Mr. Paul Bartel. I have two other videos on this YouTube page of his directorial films. One of my favorite films of all time, his 1972 Private Parts, as well as his film Eating Raoul from 1982. The Secret Cinema is his first film, and it's a short film, and it's included, I believe the only way to see it is on the Criterion Eating Raoul Blu-ray or DVD here on the set. So it's one of the special features, and this is supposedly his first directorial debut. Interestingly enough, it says in here that in 1986, so he, obviously some years later, he remade this for the TV series, the Steven Spielberg TV series Amazing Stories. So very, very interesting. We are going to look at Paul Bartel's first film. Now, a lot of people know Paul Bartel as working with Mary Woronov. Well, they act in Eating Raoul, of course, but also he acted in other films, Roger Corman films and such. The Secret Cinema, 1966. Let's enter into this film. This movie has such style, such presence. It's filmed in black and white, but it utilizes a multitude of different methods, cinematic styles. We have a silent movie type of vibe. We have a breaking of the fourth wall, but is it really a breaking of the fourth wall, or is the fourth wall actually reality? Storyline, cinematic reality. We have in this film wild characterizations, bizarre characters wearing masks. We have almost the theme of movies and kind of the medical aspect of movie making. Also the reality of movie making, not the reality of movie making, but that movie making is reality. The love of cinema over wanting to date, wanting to be in relationships with other people. We see Paul Bartel's black comedy in here. We see tinges of darkness and some horror. We see Paul Bartel's sense of humor, without a doubt. We see amazing use of shadows and light within a black and white world. We have a main character, a woman in distress. There's an aspect of secrets and mystery and torment. The mundane. The life of the mundane. We have, the theme of cinema itself, obviously in the title, but of movie theaters and of movie showings and of movie making and movie editing and directing and acting. The theme of life being the differences between life and acting, okay? There is an aspect to the Secret Cinema that is so secret. I don't want to mention it in this video, but there's an aspect to the Secret Cinema that is so ahead of its time. And I don't want to mention any modern films, but there is one modern film in particular that definitely, modern Hollywood film, that this film here was definitely the first one, in this way, way ahead of its time. something that we would see in a modern Hollywood film, and I don't want to mention it, that many people would probably watch that and say, my gosh, I've never seen anything like this before. Well, they haven't seen the secret cinema. There are bizarre things from the get-go of this film. As soon as you push play on this movie, it says a paranoid fantasy by Paul Bartel. I think those were the words that were on the screen. And there is an element of paranoia in this film. There is an element of sexuality in this film in relation to the cinema. And if you know anything about Paul Bartel's personal life, this is a very interesting theme to think about as you watch this movie. There's old-fashioned music in here. There's classical music in here. There's also 60s mod music in here as well, and we take a dive into a 60s club where people are dancing. There are very we have zooms in here. We have quick editing, and we have artistic editing, and there's a pace to this film that is very appealing. Each frame, each minute that goes by in the secret cinema, secrets are being released to us, the viewer, but also the creativity is just flowing. You don't know what's happening from frame to frame. From the beginning of the movie, you don't even know where this thing is going, and then all of a sudden you start to realize that what you were watching at the beginning of the film is actually part of something else, and it's part of reality, it's part of the storyline, it's part of the movie that we are watching called The Secret Cinema, but there could be another movie within a movie within a movie, and The Secret Cinema is not just a title to Paul Bartel's movie, it's the title of something else within the movie that we are watching. It is such a creative movie. It's such a unique movie. When you're first watching this film and you start to hear a laugh track coming out of nowhere, you're wondering to yourself, what the hell am I watching here? What's happening? We have this very unique radio DJ that is, as he says, your cure for insomnia. He is somebody that will take you through the watches of the night with real hip 60s music, and just his voice and the way that he says what he says. We have a limousine with I don't even think it's a limousine, I just think it's a really nice, like, kind of old-fashioned car that has a table in the back with big hunks of chicken back there that you can eat at. We have a boss that wants more from his female employee. We have really the true essence of paranoia and its relation to cinema. This is The Secret Cinema, 1966, by Paul Bartel. I gotta tell you, this is incredibly unique, especially thinking of when it was made in 1966. As I said, there are more modern films that definitely might be playing off of some of the ideas here. The way these things are revealed, there are very bizarre characters in here. There's some bizarre dialogue. There's some bizarre looks in the camera out of nowhere. We have an aspect of, there's this really weird waitress who's obsessed with turkey, and she wants, it seems that she's playing multiple roles in this film. There's a weird ticket taker at a movie theater. The way things are revealed, the revelations. I mean, I would say this is truly, I believe it was Edgar Allan Poe who said a dream within a dream. Well, this is, The Secret Cinema is truly the definition of a movie within a movie, and whatever that fourth wall is. We have it all here, folks. Bits of darkness, bits of paranoia, humor, zaniness, a bizarre German doctor, who is more than that, as we will recall. Is Paul Bartel really the director of The Secret Cinema? I mean, Paul Bartel is the director of The Secret Cinema. But is Paul Bartel really the director of The Secret Cinema? This is 1966's The Secret Cinema by Paul Bartel, and it is available on as one of the special features in the Eating Raoul Criterion Edition right here. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like Paul Bartel's The Secret Cinema. Please feel free to check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. That's POOPY. Thank you so much, and have a great night.